welcome to another weekly update. As I said last week, waking up is hard to do. Part of it is the medication, but part of it is I do have discomfort, like in my ribs and lower back and stuff like that. And when I'm asleep, I'm actually pretty comfortable. So, I might try to sleep as long as I can to stay as comfortable as long as I can. I'll kind of take you through. It's probably not anything you haven't really seen before, but kind of how my day goes, and sometimes my days go in waves. Like the other day, it wasn't actually hard to wake up, which was unique. I was able to get up and edit some of my films and post those. But then the next morning, it was like I must have astral projected out of my body or something in the middle of the night and got in a fight because I woke up with a bloody eye and it felt like I had been punched and kicked and who knows what in my ribs and in my sternum. And I kind of feel like I did a couple weeks ago. So again, the only thing consistent about this is the inconsistency. So that's that part of the day. Alright, I just dumped a bunch of little red potatoes and vegetables and herbs into this crock pot because that seems to be what I can eat lately. So now it's time to start taking my first round of medicine. Yep, I probably take 3 to 4 rounds a day. And of course, I still record everything in this little notebook. I might write some things in red or green or a different color, because maybe something didn't go well, or something did go well, or I'm trying to balance harsher medications with less harsh medications. Last week I talked about Jenny consciousness and Jennifer consciousness. There's another consciousness that I'm finding is very flat, like robotic, like spot-like. And I think I'm going to call it the medication mind. Because I think it is the medication that's just making me very flat at times. And so I'm really trying to balance harsher medications with less harsh medications. I have to take something that's like Mucinex twice a day, every 12 hours. And then I realized I could take a leave every 12 hours. So I'm trying to take a leave in the morning and at night when I take my Mucinex. And then I'm trying to save the morphine for like midday and midnight. Again, I talk about a lot of times I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll have to re-medicate again, just to kind of stay asleep and stay pain-free. Plus, if I say morphine midday and midnight, it's also a nice little mnemonic device for me to remember as well. Yes, technically I can take my morphine up to every 2 hours, but I find that it really causes stress on my organs, and can also make me nauseated at times. So I'm really, really trying to reduce nausea. That's one of my number one goals, while also trying to keep my symptoms under control. And sometimes I'm willing to deal with a little bit more pain, just to not have the medicated mind, to be a little bit more awake and aware, especially during the day. But as I said this morning when I woke up, similar to the morning, basically I will take a big afternoon nap, anywhere from like, I don't know, it ranges from day to day. It could be 11 to 4, it could be 1 to 5. And I take these big naps again because that's less medication I have to take. I'm still more comfortable, and yeah, that's basically, and I'm just tired. My body will tell me, you're going down now. You really just don't have a choice. So I'm definitely sleeping a little bit more. But then I'm generally up from like 5 to 8 or 9 every evening. So that's probably the window when I'm the most awake. The window when I mostly feel well is probably somewhere from 11 to noon or 1. So yeah, I just wave how I feel throughout the day. All right, so continuing my weekly update for March 26th. Raw and real. Some of it I've been doing off the cuff and like when I wake up in the morning and stuff like that. But last night I thought about a few other points that I wanted to talk about. So I'll refer back and forth to my points. Sorry, it is morning, Tuesday morning. Oh, you know what? I'm going to turn off my massage chair so it doesn't make weird noises while I record. And waking up is still hard to do. But the good news is that the last time the nurse was here, all my vitals were really good. My blood pressure, my oxygen, and I've been working really, really hard to manage my symptoms naturally through diet, not eating too much. I generally have like a mug full of crock-potted potatoes and veggies in chicken broth about twice a day, and then I do drink throughout the day. The less I eat, the better I feel, but I also have to eat to also feel good too. Also really trying to balance over-the-counter drugs with the more harsh drugs like morphine, which I'm trying to use more when I sleep, and then I try to use the more over-the-counter before, like during the day. And yeah, my mom bought me this big old thing, and it should probably even have one other one. I have one more down by where I sleep. So yeah, I probably do about 5 or 6 rounds of meds throughout the day that are over the counter, plus prescribed per hospice. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is that, you know, I have talked about this pretty much every video. The most consistent thing is the inconsistency. I can't remember, I think it was Sunday or something. I woke up and I felt like I astral projected out of my body and got beat up. I woke up with a bloody eye and I was just in pain down my left side. And then there's other days where I feel pretty good. So you're gonna see a wave and a wide variety of what I look like while I'm on hospice. I pretty much don't do my hair and makeup a lot anymore. This is what I look like most of the days when I'm at home But I do still like to do my hair and makeup when I do my videos if I can, especially for my storybooks and things like that. So generally what happens is like day one, I'll wash my hair and then I won't have like a lot of energy to actually do my hair and makeup. So I'll just let it naturally dry and everything. And then day two, I don't have to wash my hair. So I have a little bit more energy to do my hair and makeup. And then I'll record my videos. But then after that, when you see me with my hair and makeup, I'll eat lunch and then I'll be down for a nap for like 3 to 4 hours every day. And that's pretty consistent between noon and 1 or so, sometimes 2 or 3, depending what's going on that day, till 4 or 5 p.m. And then day 3, I might actually edit the videos and post them. So that's kind of my cycle. You might see things every other day if I have energy the day that I actually recorded them or time. But if I don't, then you'll probably see posts every 3 days or so. So I also wanted to share a fear. And it might sound really, really silly, but it is a fear that I've had for quite a while being on hospice. I'm just going to share it. There are some times where feeling good can be very deceiving. So I'll be sitting a lot during the day and I'll feel pretty good and I'll feel pretty relaxed, and then I get this stupid fear like, what if I get better? And I know that shouldn't sound like a fear, but you have to understand that I didn't like quit my job. I'm still getting some benefits right now, but you know, eventually those are going to run out. And, you know, I've been on hospice. I don't want people to think that, you know, because one of the things I want to do is debunk what does someone on hospice look like. And I think I've done a pretty good job at that. But it's a very short-lived fear, because as soon as I get up and walk around, or, you know, I really don't have an interest for going outside. I really can't walk around very far at all anymore. You know, I used to be able to walk around the grocery store, and I can't do that anymore. So anyway, I know it's kind of a silly little fear, but it is there sometimes. But I think that is good in some aspects. It does mean that between my own efforts and the efforts of the hospice team, that we really are managing the symptoms well. I haven't had to use my oxygen hardly at all. I'm starting to get the nausea under control that I've kind of gone on for about 2 weeks. And so the other thing I do want to debunk is that you don't have to suffer as you're dying. It can be peaceful. It can be graceful. So I think that's the other thing that I am working on. And hopefully it'll actually work. So far, so good for the most part. In addition, I've been really overwhelmed at times with the amount of the support. You can hear pings. Sorry, I should probably mute my computer in the background of the emails I'm getting. I've been really overwhelmed at the amount of the supports and the reaching out that people have done through traditional texts and messaging, social media, and sending out cards. So I'd like to start doing some shout outs to people. So that might be something that you might see soon on some of my social media. And it also reminds me back in 2014 when my youngest son was like, oh, I'm sick, I need mail. Because he was associating being sick with getting mail. And not that anyone in my family is, well, he's like, 16 now, so he's not going to say anything like that. And not that anybody else in my family is saying anything like that. But I do think that this is a good point in time to also talk about how it's not just me going through this whole process. It's all my sons, it's my husband, it's my roommate, selected family member. And so if you know my husband, my stepson, Ethan, Jack, Kai, Sarah, and you'd like to send them a letter as well and you need the address, just DM me. So yeah, because it isn't just me going through everything. A lot of times if I'm sad, I'm not sad really for myself. I'm more sad for the people that I'll be leaving behind and the grieving that they will have to do. For the most part, we're doing okay. For the most part, most people in the family have reached acceptance at this point. But that doesn't mean that there aren't some hard times or there won't be hard times ahead. Anyway, yeah. So thank you for all of the support that you've been doing during this time of our family's emotional surfing. That's what I like to call it. Take care.